Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here. Now, before I release my review of Blade Runner 2049, which I've actually recorded before this, but then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. This is a reaction to new Doctor Who news. Series 11, getting only 10 episodes, but they're all hour long. And Shada being animated and re-released on DVD and Blu-ray. Let's start with Series 11. This actually sounds like a good idea. I was admit, the idea of only going to have 10 episodes I was like, what? And then I read that they were all going to be hour long. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Because prior to this, they've all been 45 minutes, apart from the exceptions where they've been allowed to be a bit longer. Sometimes 50 minutes, sometimes 55. The hour long. This is mainly for the Christmas specials, as well as Planet of the Dead, which was an Easter special, The Waters of Mars, and yeah, just those two. The End of Time Part 2, which is a New Year special, is 75 minutes, as is Day of Doctor. Deep Breath is 75 minutes. Voyage of the Damned 70. So they're just over an hour. Journey's End, the 11th hour. Deep Breath. Not Deep Breath, Hellbent, and a few others, I think, are 65. I think Heaven Sent's about 50 or 55. Pandoric Opens is 50. Big Bang's 55. All of Series 7 is 45, apart from the specials. Same for 6. 1 and 2. I think 3, maybe there's 3 as well. I think it's when it gets to Series 4, that's when they start extending the episodes beyond the 45 mark, apart from the specials. And even then, with Voyage of the Damned, which can be considered either Series 3 or Series 4, is 70 minutes. That's longer for the Christmas specials. And we've had World's Enough in Time. I think that might have been 45 minutes, but we had The Doctor Falls and Heaven Sent. They were 60 minutes. Not Heaven Sent. Death in Heaven, they were 60 minutes. So yeah, so we've had longer episodes, but for an entire series, we're having hour-long ones, which helps stretch the stories and means they don't get rushed at the end. The most notable case of a story being rushed at the very end, for a 45-minute story at least, is The Power of Three, and this is for a single episode, which coincidentally happens to have been written by Chris Chibnall. And I think some people might think Dinosaurs on a Spaceship is a bit rushed as well. So, and Chris Chibnall's taking over the show, and he'll be the head writer. He's going to be writing at least 3, maybe 4 episodes of the series, as it's going to be only 10 if it was 13 or 12. He probably would have done 5 or 6, like Stephen Moffat or Russell T Davies. I think for Series 1, Russell actually did about 8. Was that 7? But Russell and Stephen usually do between 4 and 7 or 8 per series out of 12 or 13 episodes. But out of 10 episodes, it probably means Chris is only going to do 4, maybe 5 at most. Maybe he'll co-write like Moffat did on the last 3 seasons. But individual writing, he'll certainly do at least 3, maybe 4. He'll be doing the first one, the last one, and depending if there will be any 2-parters, because I agree with YouTube Gallifrey that I don't think that there probably won't be any 2-parters, or at least only one. That'll be the finale, like with Series 8. Otherwise, there'll be no finale, no 2-parters like Series 7. 10 also only had 1 2-parter at the end, but it didn't. Then again, it had a 3-parter in the middle. Well, middle-isk. If it was 13 episodes, it would be the direct middle, or a 4-parter. Yeah, 4-parter or 13 episodes, it would be the direct middle. So, if there is any 2-parters, it will be the last 2 episodes. We might get one midway through or at the start, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be all 1-parters, at least as far as episode 8. Then maybe a 2-part finale. But in that case, that makes the 2-part finale 2 hours instead of an hour and a half. Or an hour and 45 or something. So you'll probably, and for those who like the serial formats, maybe 4 part stories, these are going to be longer. So because 4-part classics used to be 20. They were 25 minutes each, so they used to be 100 minutes. These are going to be longer. These are, or at least if they make a 2-parter, they'll be longer. They'll be 120 minutes, nearly 5 parts long, like the Damons. And if they were just 90 minutes, then yeah, I see hour and a half ones were like nearer to the 100 mark, but these ones are going to be closer to 125. No, actually, I was supposed to be talking about the fact if they were single ones. If they were single-length, hour-long ones, they're closer to the 15-minute mark. But this also gives them time to expand on the ending, because I know, particularly with Series 7, that the endings were pretty much rushed, especially the Chris Chibnall ones, and Hyde. More so Power Free than Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, but yeah, Power Free and Hyde were the worst cases of the ending was rushed. And I know Series 10 also, I think it might have rushed episodes 9 and 10's ending, Empress of Mars and Eaters of Light. Those endings may have been rushed maybe in script editing by the script editor, so to include the missy bits at the end, especially with episode 10. So maybe these endings will also allow extra time. I know Hellbent has another 5 or 10 minutes of ending, maybe even 15 minutes. As soon as the Doctor wipes his memories, it's like another 10 or 15 minutes of the episode left. So, well, on the plus side, that's a better 10 to 15 minutes than the big chunk of the story between minute 19 and minute 50. When I last watched it, I timed it. It was minute 19 when he went back to rescue Clara, about minute 23 where he killed the General, and minute 50 where it had cut from him wiping his memory to him in America. So between minute 19 or 23, depending when you think that really, really terrible stuff happens, to where it ends, because I know a lot of people hate the entire episode, but for the worst bits, start even minute 19 when he's rescuing Clara, or minute 23 when he kills the General. Worst bit in Doctor Who history. Please note that there's an upcoming Universal video next week on it. Not this week, next week. Well, not on it. It'll talk about it a bit. To minute 50 where it stops being shit and just dies in peace. Yeah, I'll talk about that in an upcoming Universal video, as I said, soon. So that was a pretty bad story, to be honest. So maybe they'll hopefully not have something like that. It was 15 minutes of extra time left. Granted, like I said, that was better than most of the episode, but that 15 minutes could have been shorter. And hopefully we'll have something more a line of I don't know. Some episodes, they're either too long or too short. They're too short, they rush their endings, or they extend it a lot, like End of Time extends it. I think those extra 15 minutes so he can go back and visit everyone. Hellbent, extra 15 minutes, better than the rest of the story, but bar the first 19, but still. On the other hand, you could have a really short episode. I mentioned the rushed endings. You could have something like Victor of the Daleks. That was only 43 minutes in length, excluding the Next Time trailer, but 43 minutes, and that story could have been a 2-part or an hour long. It only takes 15 minutes for the Doctor to change the Daleks' minds, as opposed to Power of the Daleks, the story it's actually taking inspiration from, where the Daleks... it's only episode 5, I think. You realise that Daleks are turning against the humans at the end of episode 4, but it's episode 5 that they're actually starting to actually go round exterminate people, and it's episode 6 where it's revealed that the humans discovered that they betrayed them, and that's about 2 hours in already. End of episode 5, start of episode 6, that's 2 hours in. Over 2 hours even. So, yeah. It could be something like that. Although not over 2 hours, maybe at the end of the first hour. So hopefully we'll have longer stories than what we've had before. So they've got an extra 15 minutes to wrap the story up nice and tidily and not rush it. Like in Series 7. At the same time, they can also do longer stories, or at least once they're 15 minutes long. And if they do a two-parter, then they've got 120 minutes to do it, or do them if they decide to. Yeah, so it's looking good. Granted, I would have liked more than 10 episodes. I mean, I did want 13 episodes back. I wanted it to go back to 13 episodes. But as they're hour long, we're technically getting more with less episodes, more Doctor Who with less episodes. So, because a regular series of 45 minutes is about 9 or 10 hours, this series will be about 10 hours tops. Not 10 hours tops, 10 hours approximate. Plus the Christmas special, which will probably still remain an hour. Maybe there'll be some extra time for that. We'll see. It's probably not going to be too much extra time. Maybe another 10 minutes, like Voyage of the Damned. Or 5 minutes. Or 15 minutes, like End of Time and Day of the Doctor. Or just 5 minutes. But it'll probably still be an hour. And the episode, so Doctor Who will be an hour from now on. Thank goodness. And the second news is Shada. Now, Shada is now being reanimated. Well, not the entire story, just the missing bits, the unfilmed bits that were in the studio. They've got some studio stuff done, like the Chronosis rooms, and they got all the location stuff done, but they hadn't filmed most of the stuff that would be in sets, in the studios. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I have seen the trailer and I've seen a clip that's been posted, and the animation needs a bit more cleanup. And considering this is going to be released at the start of December on DVD and Blu-ray, oh god, DVD and Blu-ray again? I might not get both this time. It might, if it's the same release. God, could we just have the one or the other? Enough problems with getting Power of the Daleks twice. At least that one had a time gap between them. We'll see what happens. And November, at the end of November, it's going to release it on digital, and they're going to have some BFI screens. But the trailer and the clip was posted in September. But the trailer looks like it's done a better job of it, but doesn't look like it's quite cleaned up, that they've matched the voice and the movement of the mouth. I think they've cleaned it up for the trailer, but they could still do a little bit more work. It's not the worst animation. It's not going to be Reign of Terror bad. That one needed it. I don't know why that was delayed, but it was not to improve the animation for that release. That DVD release was going to be late 2012, and it was pushed back to January 2013. But whatever the reason for the delay, it was not so they could sort out that animation, and the animation looks shit. With this one, the clip looks shit, just as bad, if not worse, but the trailer's looking a bit better, so they've obviously cleaned some bits up. And so hopefully, when it comes out, it'll look okay. Yeah, it'll be alright. And whilst you've got the chance, get this box set, because it's likely, as YouTube Gallifrey says, it's likely to go out of print, like many of the original editions of ones they've got special editions. I know I'm having a hard trouble trying to find some of those old ones to complete the collection. And hopefully this will be on the release, because if this does go out of print, then hopefully more than 30 years of the TARDIS will be included. Especially if they do a Steelbook collection. Maybe they'll include the VHS version as well, I'm not sure. Maybe the Steelbook Blu-ray will, I'm not sure about the DVD, that might just have the animated one stuff. And it's likely to be called Shada Special Edition. So that will make it the 20th Special Edition. I've been bagging on for having a 20th Special Edition. Revisitations 4 or another release. Maybe Pyramids of Mars gets a Blu-ray. Well, actually, get Pyramids of Mars on Blu-ray and also release The Crusade. But those two wouldn't be special editions. But yeah, maybe Pyramids of Mars could have a special edition as well. But yeah, so looking forward to Shada's release. I just hope they've cleaned up that animation a bit more than they have. So that's it for me. Before I run out of time on my card, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. goodbye. Well, 22, but let's make it 20 anyway. Oh, that's in 15 festival. So hopefully we'll have. So hopefully that won't happen. Or some we'll have. So. Ah! So. So let me just take my times. So hopefully we'll just have before this